in a quiet countryside town where rules were petty and power unchecked. One woman's stolen cheese uncovered a secret and unleashed a storm no one saw coming. What began as a missing wheel turned into a battle of dignity, deception, and one furious goat. This isn't just a story about theft. It's about standing your ground when no one expects you to fight back. In the sleepy, rural town of Willow Creek, where chickens still wandered freely across dusty driveways, and Friday nights meant lawn chairs and lemonade on the porch, Emily Parker found her rhythm underground. Literally, beneath her century-old barn. Emily ran a small, artisanal cheese cellar that had gained quiet notoriety beyond the borders of town. She wasn't flashy. She didn't need to be. Every wheel of cheese she produced aged carefully in a stone-walled chamber with classical music humming softly in the background told its own story. Sharp, earthy, confident. Like her. For Emily, the cellar was more than business. It was sanctuary. She poured her soul into the craft. From the hand-brined rinds to the temperature controls she fine-tuned daily. Every detail mattered. Which is why, one morning in April, when she noticed that a prized 6-month-aged cheddar was missing from its marked shelf, her heart dropped. At first, she blamed herself. Maybe she sold it and forgot. Maybe she moved it and misplaced the record. The next morning, another wheel was gone. That's when denial turned into fury. Someone was stealing from her. Not randomly. Not clumsily. Whoever it was knew exactly what they were doing. And they had access. Emily didn't need to guess long. Karen Delaney, HOA president, middle-aged, cold smile, platinum hair set like concrete. Her signature accessories: a pearl necklace, a clipboard, and a scowl. Karen had long treated the HOA like her personal fiefdom, enforcing arbitrary rules and making life especially difficult for those she deemed unrefined. Emily, with her goats and barn and thriving independent business, was a frequent target. Karen complained about the color of Emily's barn, about the smell of the hay, about the goats being visually aggressive. She once filed a formal grievance over the font on Emily's shop sign. Lately, Karen had taken to late-night patrols, uninvited, unwelcome. Emily had brushed it all off before, but now she was being robbed. And Karen was no longer just a nuisance, she was a suspect. Emily decided not to confront her outright. Karen was powerful in Willow Creek. She chaired the town beautification committee. She had connections to the zoning board. The local deputy attended her wine tastings. A direct accusation would go nowhere. So Emily set a trap. She installed a motion-triggered camera disguised in the cellar. She placed a fresh wedge of aged cheddar, slightly exposed, deliberately tempting, and waited. What the footage revealed at 12:42 a.m. turned her blood cold. Karen, in a hoodie, gloves on, calm as ever. She moved through the cellar like she belonged there. She sliced off a generous wedge, sniffed it, smirked. Before leaving, she winked directly at the hidden camera, unknowingly. Emily stared at the footage in disbelief. The audacity, the entitlement. And still, she knew she couldn't go straight to the police. She needed more than video. She needed community. So she turned to an unlikely ally. Bucky. He was the town menace, her biggest goat. Massive, temperamental, and comically feared. He'd once trampled Karen's ornamental tulip bed and shattered her prized garden gnome during a county fair incident involving a loose halter and a passing drone. Bucky had a reputation, but he was loyal and very food-motivated. Emily devised a plan that would have sounded ridiculous anywhere else. She began training Bucky to associate Karen's scent lavender, overly strong with excitement. She sprayed old cheese wrappers and rubbed them with lavender oil, hiding them around the pen. She rang a bell that sounded exactly like the one on Karen's purse every time he found one. It took a week, but Bucky got it, on cue. He'd snort, paw the ground, and charge with theatrical flair. Meanwhile, Karen continued her thefts. Twice more. She entered, always taking the best wheels, once. She even labeled a shelf with her initials. Emily kept recording, kept cataloging. Then came the perfect night. She left the cellar open just enough. A truffle cheddar sat in the middle, bathed in soft light. A fresh scent of lavender filled the air. The bell hung on a tripwire. And Bucky waited silently behind a hidden gate, camera strapped to his collar. At 12:14 a.m., Karen returned. She was more brazen than ever. She moved quickly, scooping wedges into her basket. Then the bell rang. Bucky's ears twitched. The gate slid open. He charged. Not to harm, but to confront. The footage showed Karen freezing mid-theft as 250 pounds of fury stormed into the cellar. Cheese wheels flew as she shrieked, stumbled, and fell backward into a crate of aging wheels. Bucky stood over her, snorting, blocking the exit. Emily stepped forward quietly. "Oh, hi, Karen," she said calmly. "I believe you've met Bucky." Karen scrambled up, muttering. "This isn't what it looks like." Her purse dropped. Cheese spilled out. Her hoodie slipped, exposing her pearls. Emily didn't respond. She just held up her phone. Red light blinking. The next morning, word spread like wildfire. But Emily wasn't finished. At the Saturday town market, Emily found her cheeses, beautifully wrapped, priced high, rebranded under Willow Creek Select a Community Craft. The vendor booth, run by Karen, smiling, sipping bad rosé, surrounded by HOA board members. Emily bought one wheel. She matched the serial number. It was hers. She documented everything. Then, at the next HOA meeting, she stood during open comments. "I have video evidence of repeated theft, private property resale, and unauthorized branding under the HOA's name," she said. She plugged in a USB drive. Silence followed as the videos played, Karen sneaking in, stealing, the confrontation, Bucky's heroic charge. Some laughed. Some gasped. Karen's lawyer claimed the goat was used to intimidate, that the videos were staged, but no one believed her anymore. A vote was held. Karen was removed from her position. Her reputation unraveled. She withdrew from committees, retreated from events. Her front lawn grew unkempt. The lavender scent vanished from town gatherings. Emily, she thrived. Her story went viral. News outlets picked it up. She gave one interview and declined the rest. "It wasn't about going viral," she said. "It was about not being afraid of powerful people who think they can take without consequence." She renamed her best cheddar the Delaney Wheel. It sold out weekly. Bucky got a statue, small, made of recycled cheese molds. He stood outside the cellar, frozen mid-charge. Kids took selfies. Someone gave him a ribbon defender of dairy on warm evenings. Emily sat on her porch, a soft breeze curling over the fields. She'd scratch Bucky's ears, sip wine, and look out over her cellar with quiet pride. Because in a world full of quiet thefts and loud egos, sometimes the best justice doesn't come in a courtroom. Sometimes it comes with a bell, a goat, and the courage to fight back.